may or may not have heard of Berberine. What the hell is Berberine? And why is it good for me, Dr. Shane? Well, first off, before we talk about supplements, whole food from nature, exercise, getting ample amounts of sleep, and reducing stress are most important for maintaining optimal health, not having processed foods, added sugars, refined flours. But. Berberine is a very, very interesting compound. Berberine is an alkaloid. What is an alkaloid? An alkaloid is a nitrogenous compound, so something that has nitrogen, that has pronounced physiological effects in humans. And so it can affect organ function, can an alkaloid. And some other examples, aside from berberine, would be things like caffeine, theobromine, which we find in dark chocolate. Nicotine and cocaine are also alkaloids, but we don't find those in anything healthy. We don't want those, right? But it shows that an alkaloid should have some relatively substantial physiological effect, right? Those are all pretty powerful things that we feel a tangible effect from, right? And so berberine can be extracted from a few different types of plants, like golden seal, or Oregon grape, or barberry, among a few others, a type of turmeric as well. And it has the ability to improve insulin sensitivity. So how our insulin responds to sugar in the blood. And if it responds well, that's a good thing, right? Because when it doesn't respond well, the sugar can build up in the blood and it can cause a whole world of problems. And we see that with type 2 diabetes mellitus. So aside from regulating insulin sensitivity in a beneficial manner, it also affects metabolism in our cells. It helps to activate a pathway in our mitochondria called the AMPK pathway, right? So what is that? That's the AMP activated protein kinase pathway. Shane, you lost me. Don't let me lose you. All that is a fancy way of saying this pathway that regulates metabolism in our cells. And we know that metabolism happens in the mitochondria, the energy powerhouse of our cells, whether we're breaking down sugar or whether we're breaking down fat. You can also break down sugar outside of the mitochondria, but for the most part, or amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, right? For breaking all this stuff down for energy, the mitochondria is key, and maintaining the health of our mitochondria is essential for preventing a lot of different diseases in life. And a lot of neurodegenerative diseases have dysfunctional mitochondria associated with them. Dysfunctional metabolism in general, of course. If your energy powerhouse that controls metabolism in the cell is not functioning well, right, would be a bad thing, right? And so it increases insulin sensitivity and it improves the function of our mitochondria. So Shane, wouldn't it help us to improve levels of blood sugar? Wouldn't it help to break down sugar? Wouldn't it help to break down fat? It improves our insulin sensitivity, like we said, right? And that's related to sugar, right? Wouldn't it help our gut health? Maybe. That's involved in a lot? Well, the answer is yes. And it does the other aforementioned things as well. It actually kills the harmful bacteria in our gut, and it helps to upregulate or produce more of the beneficial bacteria in our gut, while reducing inflammation in the gut. Now, it's absolutely fantastic for a wide array of reasons, right? And it also lowers cholesterol. So how does it stack up to pharmaceutical drugs? Because most often, a natural supplement does not have quite the potency of some engineered synthetic drug, right? For a specific purpose. This one is pretty darn good. Berberine stacks up to metformin or beats it when it comes to lowering levels of fats and supporting heart health. Okay, now for sure. Now in other categories, they're really similar. And what's interesting though, but we know that definitively, based on the research, what's interesting is its mechanism of action in the body is extremely similar, if not identical, to that of metformin. And when people take metformin, most commonly for diabetes, to help improve blood sugar levels and lower cholesterol and all these other things, how it affects metabolism, well, you can get negative side effects, right? And it can lower your B12 levels. It can cause GI upset, right? Issues with nausea or diarrhea and all sorts of things, right? Gas and all that kind of stuff, which we don't really see as much with berberine. So that's definitely a good thing, right? Now, when it comes to fat loss, if it controls metabolism like this, is it something that's going to just burn my fat away, right? If it's that effective at improving the function of our mitochondria, energy powerhouses in the cells that help us to break down fat. Well, the answer is we need a little more research, but it's promising. In terms of fat loss, natural supplements that are top as of 2024, number one is protein, followed by caffeine and green tea. Those are our top three, respectively, right? And so it could be good mechanistically, right, by how it works, how we know it works in the body, but we need a little more research. But what is promising are two meta-analyses they did on a bunch of people that showed 500 milligrams of Berberine HCl to reduce waist circumference. Okay, now whether that's totally attributed to fat, which it probably is, right, for the most part, I would think, and most people probably would, is, kind of up in the air, right? But it lowered BMI, especially when it was given for 3 to 4 months. So it does take some time to really work. And another trial showed that when given 500 milligrams of Berberine HCl 3 times a day for 3 months in 1,000 diabetics, Berberine stacked up to oral hypoglycemics, or drugs that people will take orally that help to lower their blood sugar for the purpose of lowering blood sugar. So Berberine, it is the real deal, and we might see it come on in future years here to come for a wide array of benefits and purposes and categories in supplementation, especially for affecting metabolism. That's what we got for you guys today. Who do we got on here? Let's say what's up. It's really great stuff. It is. Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, it does. It does do that. Hola, how you doing? Guillermo Das. Realtor Johnny, Sabia and Ashley. What's up, baby girls? How you doing? Realtor, what's up? Appreciate the love. App State Jag. And Kyler, my dear, as for now. So we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but you are damn right. We will see you then. Have an amazing Saturday night. Thank you so much. Happy Wet Wellness.